Blind Association in Rivers State empower members. Ohaneze says Kanu's release will reduce obese populations. United Nations described 2023 as the hottest year ever in global warming. Tinubu encounters King Charles in climate. Celestial Church leader stops portable Pasuma performance. NFF to set up VAR in domestic league football.
So we use cane, and the person wants to cross the road, and the person lifts the cane up. What it means is wait till the person passes, because the person might not know that you are that close or far. Or if you see a blind person with that cane, please indicate to assist the person in any other way. We are also ongoing is an eye test as a voice to say we don't want more blind persons to join us. For those people who don't form the habit of knowing their sight status, whenever they have headache, they call it one name or the other, not knowing that it is one eye challenge or the other. Let them come and test their eyes and then map out an adequate measure.
You know what you do. And if you want to succeed in business, you may not go far with that. We are looking at a situation where your business grows and
how to produce liquid soap, do bead, cake. But you know, Rotary Club of Port just started with the partnership this year. So this day we're empowering 10 people.
So she may give you more.
Meanwhile, participants express gratitude towards the event as they say it is timely and resourceful, especially for the visually impaired at the moment.
We are using because it is one of the biggest, it is rare. So I really appreciate the effort you fit to empower us. It is an additional support. It is something that will help us, because most times we see these materials actually expensive. So I actually appreciate what you do for this opportunity. And the prayer is that they can help with from their process that we can have continue blessing you all. You never want. And God will always make you.
Gadgets, phones, etc. should be registered with the operators. And the reason and essence of that is because of the fact that if there is crime or that connected to a particular line, they will use that particular track to trace the person and arrest the person. So where thou lie this?
Okay.
Okay,
go on, sir, go on.
Second is this. The Nigerian police have different departments. There's the bomb disposal department. There is the one they call about intelligence. There is the one they talk about, just rightly say, cyber security, cyberspace energy. Going to lay siege tomorrow around the Omok area. They have the armored tank personal carrier CTC there. Giving pre-information to criminals you intend to arrest. I don't know the kind of policing.
Speaking further, he expressed condolences to the family of the slain DPO while
brought before the police. During the course of investigation and interrogation, the question was posed to Anini. Look, we heard that you have voodoo, juju, that you used to disappear to thin air when police are coming towards you, etc. Anini said, no, please, it is not true. I don't have any of such powers to disappear and reappear. That let me tell you what happened. That there is a particular DSP Iyamu, George Iyamu at that time, who was
still elected. Rivers people actually voted for Governor Simnilai Fubara Rivers people voted for him, and in that their mandates, they ensured that they protected it. I come from a Asarato local government that won the election. And so it is in other wards and units in Asarato local government. And in the 23 LGAs of Rivers State, okay, look at the people taking Signal February to court that seeking a day before, during, and after the elections. How was their campaign? No, politics is a game of number. How was their campaign? Were they able to go around the 23 LGAs? Do they have structures in the 23 LGAs? Do they have people representing them in the various units of the wards all across the states that will stand to defend their votes? No, they don't have. At least as a German, as a political activist and one that was in the forefront of this past election, we saw a situation. I was privileged to go to all the candidates before they become candidates, aspirants, and to candidates, especially those from the Rivers extraction. And you know, it's only Senator Magnus Abe that was a different kind, and one other young man from Eleme. These are a different kind of survey. We realize that even in the various units, they don't have structures. They don't have people voting for them. So, similarly, Fobara did a lot of work, the PDP and the
called for the rehabilitation and completion of vocational training centers in the Niger Delta region. Kuku, who also served as chairman of the Presidential Amnesty Program under the Jonathan administration, specifically said the training center in Kayama, Kolokuma, Opokuma local government area of Bayelsa State, which was vandalized by hoodlums in 2019, needs urgent rehabilitation. Disclosed this when he visited the Presidential Amnesty Office in Abuja. Kingsley Kuku commended President Umar Yar'Adua, ex-President Goodluck Jonathan, and Mohamed Buhari, as well as incumbent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the creation and sustenance of the program respectively, and expressed the light that Njomu has brought back hope to the Niger Delta and assured of his unalloyed support towards sustaining the gains of the amnesty program. Delta State Commission, ranging from academic fraud to other antisocial behaviors. It was gathered that the resolution to sanction the students was reached at the 127th and 128th Senate meetings chaired by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Yaudo Deyo, on August 30th and October 4th, 2023, respectively. The affected students are from the faculties of Agriculture, Science, Engineering, Arts Management, Sciences, and Pharmacy, and a breakdown indicated that 3 were outrightly expelled. The 7th meeting held on Wednesday, August 30th, 2023, sanctioned 9 erring students of the institution to deter other students from misconducts that do not portray the brand of excellence for which the university stands for, while another 17 erring students had directed the names of the affected students be published as to reduce the popularity of self-proclaimed Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa and the Labour Party's presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. Ohaneze said Kanu's release would consign Ekpa's activities in the southeast to the annals of history. A statement by the factional Secretary General of Ohaneze, Isiguzoro Kichuku, said the release of Kanu would have significant implications for the political landscape in the southeast, adding that certain mischievous Igbo political elites and deviant opportunists are attempting to take undue credit for Nnamdi Kanu's potential release. Ohaneze urges President Bola Tinubu to remain resolute in his decision-making process regarding Kanu's release and assure him that the Igbo nation stands behind him and trusts that he will handle this matter with utmost care and consideration. Coalition known as the Nigerian Human Rights Community says it had completed plans to deploy 400 local observers across the 16 local government areas and 19 local council development areas for the council poll holding across the state on Saturday, saying that the observers were expected to monitor the exercise and report back with the overall aim of deepening the democratic space in the country. NHRC is a coalition of 132 civil society. Fred Ojinka and Kudu Abubakar in Lagos said the election will hold in 2,445 polling units, 177 registration areas, as well as in 3 senatorial districts across the state. According to the coalition, the election is expected to elect chairmen in 16 LGAs and 19 local council development areas, saying that the exercise will who will drive development in local areas for the next 3 years. Adding that, affirmed the local council elections were as important as national elections, saying that the observers being deployed are expected to monitor and document a pre-election, during the election and post-election issues relating to democratic gains, challenges, threats and opportunities with the overall aim of deepening the democratic space in Nigeria and empower the people to take charge of their affairs. Speaking further, the coalition said majority of Nigerians live in rural communities, eliminates public distrust, and contribute to choosing the right people at the state and national levels. Ondo State House of Assembly has removed the appeal against this deputy governor of the state, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, at the appeal court sitting in Abuja. This is coming after Justice Emeka Witer of the Federal High Court Abuja had on September 26 restrained the Ondo State Governor, its Chief Judge, the House of Assembly, its Speaker, and others from proceeding with their planned impeachment of Aiyedatiwa pending the determination of a pending motion on notice for interlocutory injunctions. But the Speaker had and the National Assembly on October 3rd, 2023, filed an appeal, and while at the proceedings, the counsel for the applicants, Remi Olatubobora, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, announced to the court that the parties in the matter have found a political solution to the issue. Suspected gunmen have allegedly killed an accountant Taiwo in Ogun State, Abeokuta. Resident Electoral Commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Kogi State, Hale Longpet, is probing the recent seizure of the INEC headquarters in Lokoja, the state capital. This is coming after an angry mob barricaded all entrances to the office, obstructing staff from conducting their routine duties and access to the premises. A statement signed by the Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state stated that the siege also. The REC assured all parties and litigants that the Kogi State Office is committed to granting unimpeded access to all materials needed to prosecute their petitions. Niger State Commissioner of Police SCP Shawulu Ebenezer Dan Maman has implored the support of traditional rulers to ensure adequate community policing and a better societal approach to internal security in the state. CP Dan Maman, who disclosed this during a familiarization visit to the Emir of Mina, His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Umar Farouk Bahago in Mina, the state capital, explained that one key institution that is fundamental to partner with the security agencies, particularly the police, is the traditional institution, and the command wishes to leverage the Emir's influence, spread authority and the respect accorded to His Highness office to help in policing the people. According to him, the dynamics of crime have changed over time, therefore all hands must be on deck, from both the state actors and non-state actors in securing the state, stressing that being the leading internal security agency, the police need every iota of assistance, partnership and cooperation to succeed in providing internal security for the land. He also affirmed the commitment of the command to fight crime and expressed loyalty to the Constitution and service to the fatherland, as well as a respect for the traditional and cultural background toward ensuring a safer community. While responding, the Emir of Mina, Alhaji Farouk Bahago, assured the Commissioner of Police of his support and maximum cooperation, while commending previous commissioners of police in the state for a cordial relationship. Omar Bago has signed an executive order on the green economy. The executive order, which was titled the Niger State Green Economy Initiative Order Number 3, 2023, provides that the Green Economy Initiative shall be driven by the state blueprints that details the strategic pillars and outlines the strategic key performance indicators, the targets and timelines of the transition into a green economy. Also enshrined in the order said the Niger State government shall produce a statewide land use and economic development plan to guide investment decisions and ensure investment that would stabilize the green transition are properly coordinated and planned. The order further directed all the ministries, the departments and agencies of the state to adhere strictly to the initiative, adding that appropriate sanction will be carried out on any violator of the executive order. Governor Bago appreciated media practitioners for their wide coverage given to his administration and encouraged them not to relent, adding that the present administration initiated the green economy policy and hosted the first summit on initiative with a view to turn around the economy of the state and engender socio-economic development. Kaduna Peace Commission has commended journalists and major stakeholders for fostering harmony and mitigating conflict within the state. The chairman of the commission, Bishop Idowu Ferron, expressed heartfelt appreciation for the commendable efforts of the network of peace journalists Kaduna in promoting peace and unity within the state. In a recent interactive section held in Kaduna State, Bishop Ferron urged journalists to intensify their focus on reporting stories that contribute to peace building while exposing misinformation propagated by fake and politically driven religious leaders.
Please, if you are covering a story, cover it, don't embellish it. Tell the truth. Even when you tell the truth, there are people who will want to be warned. I think we must all agree on this, that whether it is from a Christian journalist or Muslim journalist, if you are doing something that is not meant to unite us, we will be against you. Understand.
Bishop Ferron also appealed to all Nigerians, especially religious leaders, to preach peaceful coexistence and promote unity irrespective of diversity amongst Nigerians.
Our religious leaders, it's about time we begin to call them to account. This thing you are talking about, is this what the Quran says? Is this what the Bible tells us about this thing? With Christian leader, you have a responsibility to know what your Muslim neighbor believes in. If you don't do that, you are creating problems. You know why I'm saying that? Your neighbor, if you don't know his or her religious profession, there is no way you can live together.
But Stream 2 court members in Kaduna State.
The NYSC is a national assignment. So if a core member will begin to think of going back to his or her state of origin to do an NYSC, so it means that person is not doing national service. Yes, so ideally, as somebody
come here and serve with the intention of going and living Kaduna, they should come and be part of Kaduna state citizenry. Let them come and exploit the opportunities that are here. The governor is working hard, attracting investment, making Kaduna better. There are improved infrastructure. So Kaduna is a choice destination for home in Nigeria. Kaduna State welcome every Nigerian.
Following allegations that some policemen had shot at a tricycle operator, injuring 2 passengers, tricycle riders and other youths blocked the busy Western Bypass Expressway in Kaduna State, the Kaduna State capital. The incident prompted a protest by tricycle operators in the area, resulting in the closure of the busy expressway. ATN's Mike Ode James reports that commuters were also stranded on the road for several hours, while the incident, which occurred around 9:30 a.m. when a male and female passenger with gunshot wounds were promptly taken to the hospital for treatment. While details surrounding the shooting remained unclear, eyewitnesses suggested that the policemen involved were from Kabbalah Division in the state. Security agencies had to intervene to disperse the unguarded tricycle operators who had blocked major roads in the vicinity, causing
they will block you here and collect money here. We saw it all. Please, we are begging the government to come and assist us. Look at, we don't even have a good road here. We need government assistance. Let them come to the rescue. What happened this morning, we are not happy. We are not happy at all. You people should help us, guide us and tell government what is happening.
Non-governmental organizations called the Global Rights in partnership with Kuka Center Kaduna State has advocated for women to be included in women peace building efforts against violence extremism in Kaduna State and northwest region of Nigeria. They say women and children are more prone to violent attack and other abuses in the society, noting that their voice in community peace building process as panacea to lasting solution in communities. Speaking at the gorgeous stage play on the role of women and girls in conflict in Kaduna State, the program manager, Global Rights, Dosa Oviawe,
herder farmers clashes and a whole lot of crisis has made the Northwest, that used to be the most peaceful part of Nigeria, become the most crisis-ridden region in Nigeria.
Without women, you hardly achieve what you intended to achieve. You see how the women, even when the men were called in order to make peace or how they can resolve the conflict, but still they were unable to until when women agreed to gather and come, and there was a peaceful resolution. And if you can see,
neglected in communities, and they need to be free to speak out, because they have things they need to tell us that we don't know, and things that they need to add for a community to move forward. Children are being neglected. So based on my experience today,
the People's Democratic Party has accused Governor Hyacinth Ali of Benue State of undermining the rule of law with the recent appointment of caretaker committees for local government areas in the state. The move, according to the PDP, is lacking legal backing and has raised the questions about the governor's commitment to the promised autonomy for local government administration. A statement signed by its publicity secretary, Chief Bemba Lotium, asserts that the appointment of caretaker committees for all 23 local government councils was done without the required enabling law from the Benue State House of Assembly, adding that the heads of the committees bypassed the mandatory screening by the legislature, violating due process. PDP also asserted that Alia's actions stand in stark contrast to his campaign promises during the 2023 elections, when he vowed to grant autonomy to the local government areas, stressing that the governor's approach to local government affairs has been marked by a series of court orders which upholds the tenure of the previously elected councils being disregarded, and reminded the public that 23 council chairmen were elected on the party's platform in the April 30, 2022 local council elections, with a sworn-in tenure set to expire on June 28, 2024. This is coming despite court judgments, including one by Honorable Justice Dr. I.J. Essien, noting that by expressly prohibiting the dissolution of the elected councils, Alia had allegedly constituted a committee that swiftly recommended Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has laid before the State House of Assembly a budget proposal of 300 billion naira for the 2024 fiscal year for consideration and subsequent passage. He said that the 2024 budget, Christian budget of consolidation and renewed focus, is made up of recurrent expenditure of 121.3 billion naira of 40.4%, while a capital expenditure received. He also said the 2024 budget was predicated on the assumptions of an oil production projection of 1.78 million barrels per day, a benchmark oil price of $73.96 per barrel, an exchange rate of 700 to the US dollar, which is an improved level of revenue accruals into the Federation accounts arising from oil subsidy removal, and an improved and efficient system of internally generated revenue collection. Jigawa State Police Command has arrested over 53 suspected criminals, including kidnappers, armed robbers, illegal arms manufacturers, and human traffickers. The State Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Abdullahi, who disclosed this during his maiden press briefing held at the police headquarters in Dutse, the state capital, revealed that 3 of the suspects were linked to the kidnapping of a businessman in the Paimawa village, Dutse local government area of the state, while 10 of the suspects were armed robbers. 25 suspected thieves, while 3 of the suspects are vehicle thieves and 3 suspected mobile phone thieves. The CP also disclosed the arrest of a suspected illegal arms manufacturer in the Dutse Quarry village area of Ringim, LGA, two suspected human traffickers. Our state government for its support and cooperation in the fight against crime, while also commending the officers and men of the State Police Command for their dedication and hard work. The All Progressive Congress we'll take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back. Through a series of sponsored failed protests. The APC also accused the NNPP of violating the peace accord signed at the police headquarters by sponsoring protests in the city. Dr. Musa Kwankoso, a staunch member of the APC and a former House of Representative candidate from Madobi Kukura Garun Malam, who disclosed this in Kano, said the NNPP is using protests to create unnecessary tension where there is none and become pertinent to draw public attention to the activities of the NNPP to cause chaos following the sack of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf by the appeal court in Abuja. He warned that the Kano people cannot be cajoled using sponsored protests because they believe that it is Allah who gives power to whom he wishes, following attacks by the assailants in Puka and Pinpa communities of Mangu, local government area of the state. Eyewitness said, while 6 men and a lady were killed in Puka community, the gunmen stole sheep and other domestic animals in Pinpa community, which is a resident of Puka community. John Mark confirmed the killings in Jos. Mark, who condemned the attack, said the incident had been reported to the security operatives. The state needed consolidation on the gains of tackling security challenges that had and property of the citizens. Former Benue State Governor Gabriel Susuwan has faulted the 2024 budget proposed by President Bola Tinubu, adding that the budget cannot be implemented because it contains a 17 trillion naira deficit. This is coming after President Bola Tinubu had presented 27.5 trillion as a proposed budget for the 2024 fiscal year to members of the National Assembly. And Susuwan said the budget was prepared because the people in power lacked leadership skills. The former governor spoke while addressing 25 fellows of the Emerging Political Leaders Fellowship. Said, looking at the budget, out of the whole money in that budget, the deficit is 17 trillion naira, and 9 trillion naira is for deficit, while 8 trillion naira is for debt service, while 2.7 trillion naira for tax expenditure, which Minister of State for Police Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim has expressed the federal government's commitment to upgrade the Nigerian police force to a global standard security organization. Suleiman Ibrahim, who disclosed this during a working visit to the Kaduna State Police Command, said she came on behalf of the Police Affairs Ministry to show solidarity and make an assessment which will guide them to chart the way forward. The minister added that President Bola Tinubu had inaugurated the Reform Committee, which included her as a member, and they are keen on upgrading the Nigerian police force to global standard.
An actual reform. In the past, we've had reform papers that's never been implemented. So what you should expect with the renewed hope police agenda is a reform that would actually be implemented so that we can be able to actualize our dream of having a police force of the 21st century.
The minister toured some police facilities, which included barracks and police stations, police primary school and college, among others. After the tour, Suleiman Ibrahim told newsmen that the visit was to show solidarity, express gratitude to officers, and rebuild and restore citizens' confidence in the police force.
Our officers are doing so much with so little. I would like to applaud them. I'd like to applaud the IG, the Commissioner of Police for Kaduna State. Everybody in Kaduna told me that they know that there's a new sheriff in town. I'd like to commend all the officers in the land for all they're doing. We can assure them that under this government, under the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency, a lot will be done for the Nigerian police. We cannot separate the officers with the families. It's all one component. We'll see a lot of welfare reforms by the grace of God.
President Trade Union Congress Festus Osifo has called for strict enforcement of the International Labour Organization Akwa Ibom State while speaking at the 3-day 2023 annual seminar organized by TUC Women Commission with the theme Projecting Ways to Eliminate Gender-Based Violence and Harassment from the World of Work, Implementation and Enforcement of ILO C-190R 206, decried the attitude of International Labour Organization member states who violated the R206, expressing concern that despite the treaty, violence and harassment have continued in workplaces. He also noted with dismay that even at the local level, cases such as genital mutilation and harmful widowhood practices have persisted despite several federal and state government legislative and policy instruments, adding that the Congress is concerned that despite International Labour Organization Convention 190 and R206 that address the rights of everyone to a world of work that is free from violence and harassment, it has continued. He described gender-based violence as a serious issue, adding that all hands must be on deck to eliminate it, and while preferring some strategies to eliminate gender-based violence, Osifo recommended the strengthening of the existing legal frameworks, training and retraining, as well as collaboration and partnership among organizations and employee and employer collaborations. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbaitokun says the Nigerian police is not at war with the military, describing the invasion as an attack to work professionally, and also expressed the need to serve the people excellently by responding actively to the crime and criminality in the country. Inspector Damawa to thank them for the intervention during the recent attack.
And senior police officers are here, and here immediately who takes charge of your welfare.
It was an unfortunate incident, very unfortunate, and it shouldn't have happened. I believe this is going to be the last time it will happen in Nigeria.
Unfortunate incidents that happened last Wednesday, which was avoidable, but unfortunately it was allowed to lead to the killing of life on both sides of the army and the Nigerian police. We will continue to work hard.
Abuja, where the senators actively participated in the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence on women and the girl child as a symbol of solidarity for the advocacy, while the president of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, says the Senate is united in their commitment to address this critical issue. However, the senators observed a minute silence to honor the memory of all women and individuals who lost their lives due to violence, and motion to observe the advocacy was led by 17 senators, spearheaded by Senator Ireti Kingibe, representing FCT Labour Party, while notable personalities such as Senator Adams Oshomole, Senator Natasha Akpoti, and Senator
loans secured for specific development projects and programs. Although there is a growing concern over continued borrowing But this administration resorts to it to finance fiscal gaps. But let me state here that the debt level of the federal government is still within sustainable limits. I believe that will enhance the critical needs of the citizens of this country.
The debate had some senators drawing the attention of the executive to certain areas needed for tweaking to enhance economic growth.
I don't want to take much of your time.
Planning Abubakar Bagudu has presented the breakdown of the budget, speaking at the public presentation of the breakdown of the budget in Abuja. The Minister Abubakar Bagudu gathered that defense and security, education, social development, and poverty reduction and health took the highest allocation of the budget. According to the minister, defense and security sector was allocated 3.25 trillion, standing as 12% of the budget expenditure. Education sector has 2.18 trillion or 7.9% of the budget. Health sector with 1.33 trillion, 5% of the budget. Social development and poverty reduction has 535 billion, stood at 2% of the budget, while infrastructure was
thus the need for more funding to compensate and to help keep the sector in good stead.
Speaking earlier, the Minister of Finance, Olawale Edun, said the budget will be a budget that is less reliant on borrowing, but focuses on expenditure management and value for money while striving for increasing revenue generation.
And Mr. President, in his announcements, and I'm sure we will hear more as we receive the breakdown of the different elements of the budget, but the direction of travel is that in order to stabilize the Nigerian economy for rapid inclusive growth, there is going to be less reliance on borrowing. The budget deficit is being brought down from about over 6%, 6.1% of GDP to 3.88% of GDP. That's a huge change in direction from unlimited and limitless borrowing to focusing on revenue, and as we heard earlier from Mr. President, focusing on expenditure management to give value for money with expenditure and to raise revenue.
As the House of Representatives began debate on the 20 lawmakers is a pointer to the determination of the current government to change the narrow attention to areas of education, healthcare, security, infrastructural development, diversification of the economy, and employment generation. Leading the debate and the general principles of the bill, House Leader Honorable Julius Yombari said the 2023 budget draws attention to the renewed hope agenda, pointing the country to where the country was coming from and where it is heading. He commended the president for capturing the current global issues in his budget speech, adding that the problems around the world have a direct impact on Nigerians. Other members in their contributions said capital allocation and contribution to the development fund of the nation was commendable, adding that as a developing nation, providing a substantial amount of money in the budget shows the seriousness of the government about investing in development projects.
But we are very excited that the benchmarks that Mr. President has put in place for this budget are very realistic, very attainable, and they are such that will take this country to the promised land. I look at the price of crude oil that is fixed at 77.96 for a barrel. Judging by what has happened during the year, one will conclude that this value of 77.96 is attainable. Of course, we can even get to a point, Mr. Speaker, where we overshoot this value, and therefore we'll have more money and what they call excess crude oil income in the past.
Principles of the budget, House Leader Julius Yombari commended President And here is the business news for tonight. United Nations says 2023 is set to be the hottest ever recorded, demanding urgent action to rein in global warming and stem the havoc following its wake. The United Nations World Meteorological Organization warned that 2023 had shattered a whole host of climate records, with extreme weather leaving a trail of devastation and despair. World Meteorological Organization Chief Petteri Talas has said greenhouse gas levels are record high, while global temperatures are record high, and the sea level rise is record high. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres also said the record heat findings should send shivers down the spines of world leaders, noting that the stakes have never been higher, with scientists warning that the ability to limit warming to a manageable level is slipping through humanity's fingers. Minister of Solid Minerals Development Dele Alakes and United States Assistant Secretary for Energy and Natural Resources Geoffrey Piatz have agreed to set up a team of officials from both countries to explore financing for credit to mining firms and infrastructures. They spoke on the sidelines of the Mines and Money conference held in London, while Geoffrey Piatz has said his visit to Leke followed an earlier meeting with President Bola Tinubu, who sought the support of the U.S. for the country's economic revival, adding that the U.S. would like to be Nigeria's partner of choice in developing the solid mineral sector and was interested in the reforms announced by the minister during the conference. He highlighted the establishment of the new Solid Minerals Development Company, the new security architecture to ensure safety of mine operations and data generation on a massive scale to de-risk the sector, adding that the credit facility and foreign direct investment promised by the U.S. would be in the mutual interest of both countries because energy minerals such as lithium are critical to the global crusade for clean energy and necessary for the manufacture of electric cars. You're still watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Up next, international tidbits. President Bola Tinubu met with King Charles III of England in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to participate in the United Nations Climate Conference known as COP28, taking place in the Emirates city. Tinubu posted a message on his X account on the meeting describing the king as passionate climate advocate, adding that he had a productive meeting with His Majesty King Charles III of England, who is also the head of Commonwealth and a passionate climate advocate. He also said the meeting was a significant step in strengthening the partnership between Nigeria and the United Kingdom and positive impact of joint effort that will have the planet's future forward towards setting an equitable global standard for environmental stewardship at COP28. At least 13 people were killed in a hostile fire that broke out in Kazakhstan's largest city, Almaty, before sunrise, and they died of carbon monoxide poisoning. The fire on Adi Sharipov Street in the center of the former capital was reported just after firefighters arrived 7 minutes later to find the basement of a 3-story residential building burning. The emergency department said that 72 people were staying at the hostel at the time of the fire, 59 of whom were safely evacuated, and the fire had been extinguished while the cause of the incident is under investigation. 5 people are feared missing, while 10 people, including a toddler, were injured by simultaneous Russian strikes on 3 towns in the eastern Donetsk region. In Ukraine, the industrial region has seen some of the fiercest fighting of Russia's nearly 2-year invasion, with the Kremlin claiming to have annexed it last year. Ukraine's Interior Minister Igor Klamenko said Russia forces affixed 6 S-300 rockets on Pokrovsk, Novogradivka and Mayangrad, while as a result of shelling, people were injured, including 4 children, while 5 more people are being searched under the rubble. In Pokrovsk, Klamenko said the 6-month-old baby was wounded alongside boys of ages 13 and 16 years, while the most intense fighting of the recent weeks has been playing out east of the 3 villages in the frontline town of Avdiivka. This is coming after Russian forces and their proxies have controlled large swaths of the Donetsk region since 2014, when large-scale pro-democracy fights in Ukraine, which led to separatist conflict in the east. Chinese students Lee, a final year student at Henan Dingdingshan Vocational and Technological College, was under contract with a Chinese media company as part of an internship cruise show for his graduation in June. And the terms of his contract required him to live stream for 240 hours within 26 days and upload 15 short clips, all to earn a meager minimum salary of 3,000 yuan. This commitment translated to Lee live streaming for 38.4% of the days he was contracted. In addition to managing his academic responsibilities and personal life, Lee's father revealed that his son had been coerced into taking night shift for better tips, a claim disputed by the company. While the company denied pressuring Lee into the night shift, representatives acknowledged that many live streamers struggled with maintaining a work-life balance, while the company asserted that Lee was not a former employee or an intern, but engaged in simple cooperation, providing the location and taking a commission from tips in an attempt to resolution. As a resolution, the company offered the family 5,000 yuan out of humanitarianism, but insisted that any further compensation requests must follow legal channels. Here is entertainment news for tonight. Popular actor and media personality Adeyemi Dowu, aka Yemoli, has slammed a 200 million defamatory suit against the singer Little Frosh. This is coming after Little Frosh recently called out Yemoli for allegedly slapping him for not greeting him, and the actor has now sued the singer for defamation. In the suit, Yemoli demanded a public apology, a retraction, and a payment of 200 million in damages. Olasho Oshofo, the shepherd in charge of the Celestial Church of Christ International Headquarters in K2, has strongly rejected the invitation extended to singers Portable and Basuma to perform at one of the church branches' praise night. This is coming after the Celestial Church of Christ, a land of Goshen in Lagos, had shared a flyer of its praise night featuring Portable, Basuma, and May Shua. The announcement, however, triggered a wave of reaction from many Nigerians on social media. While some described it as disheartening, others wondered if the house of God was now a place of entertainment. Here is now ATN Sports News. President of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Gassou, has promised the introduction of the video assistant referee to the Nigerian Football League. VAR is a system that helps referees to decide better about players' fouls if a goal was valid, red card decisions in football matches. Gassou gave the assurance during the maiden retreat of the management and staff of the NPFL in Abuja, adding that the NFF will start the process of introducing VAR into Nigerian football by sending some referees to countries that have already put VAR into practice to study its application and usage. Argentine legend Juan Roman Riquelme has offered a diplomatic take on the greatest of all-time debate between compatriots Lionel Messi and the late Diego Maradona. Riquelme is one of the handful of players who have played with both football icons for Argentina, while Messi and Maradona are widely regarded as two of the best players who have graced the game and have won the FIFA World Cup. Having grown up idolizing Maradona, Riquelme said the late footballer was the greatest player for him at the time, while recognizing Messi's world-class prowess. Bayern Leverkusen winger Nathan Teller says playing for the Super Eagles has boosted his confidence. The 24-year-old, who was born in England to Nigerian parents, made his debut for the Super Eagles in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against the Warriors of Zimbabwe last week. Teller started the game and was replaced at time by Victor Boniface, and while the former Burnley player is firmly focused on club football once again, Leverkusen will take on Swedish club Häcken in UEFA Europa League clash on Thursday night today. Ahead of the encounter built for the Levi, Göteborg Teller stated. Teller stated that he is in a buoyant mood